Okay, welcome back. I'm HG3. This
Hope you want to
is.
lose.
Seems like Mante XC recorded this with some volume, so let's throw ahead and throw the mute on it. And we are watching Mante XD's third match of the tournament, which brings us to the round of 16. And we have a mirror. It is Ithni versus Ithni. So we've seen every faction so far today throughout our matches. And we'll see how Mante XC's deck operates in the mirror. Earlier, I was questioning the inclusion of the Hawker support. It's definitely a card that I'd be worried about if you know you're up against hard removal decks or strong removal decks. So we'll see. He's keeping it in hand right now. If he can get it online without it dropping to an archer or to some form of removal, then it could mean something for him, but it looks like it's going to be difficult, especially now that Bork hits the ground early by Devilczych, who's running the Ithni deck against Mante XD. Kieran will come out early here to try and dodge the three-headed dragon. Or, he doesn't actually have three heads. He just likes the number 3. I like the number 3 too, so we're friends. So, Devilczych, of course, a very strong player. I believe he may stream as well. And Mante's hand doesn't really have an answer to Bork early on in this match. He can throw down Siri. If he has Siri and Kieran on the board, he's very committed to losing this round. There's almost no way to work around it. Devilczych passes. And now Mante has an opportunity, but there's just no way to climb in strength. Is he going to play this Siri and get rid of like two out of 5 opportunities for card advantage in this game? Very interesting decision for him to make here, and very bold opening from Devil to try and just Bork pass. But against a Skoya opponent, you know that it's difficult for them to climb in strength reasonably. So we'll see if it pays off. But right now it only puts him up 1 card and up down a round, really. Mante took the round, so Mante's down 1 card. It's the Skoya mirror, so no one gets to use the passive. He will start off by using White Frost, so the battlefield is a little bit more tough to navigate. He has Yavin in hand, so he picked up another means to generate card advantage. The decoys in hand, does not have a Glyce yet. Has to be hoping to pull out a Glyce to try and help him through this round, but Devilczych doesn't have a great opportunity to play Siri or Kieran if they're included in his deck either now. But if he makes a play like that round 1 with Bork, I have to imagine that perhaps he's not running Siri or Kieran, because he knows that in many situations he's going to be down around, and at the very least he probably doesn't have them in hand. If he does, I'd be pretty surprised, because that's really bold play to take value away from those cards. And now we do see the Elven Merc pull out Assembleford's Tremors. Will take the Archer off of the board. And Mante sitting on 2 Blue Mountain Commandos cannot be too happy about losing one of his 2 replayable units that he started the round with. Now all he has left is his Elven Merc. And if his Elven Merc doesn't remove the opponent's Elven Merc, then you can expect that to go the way of the grave as well and make this round especially difficult. So it looks like he's going to opt to Yavin first. Yavin onto the Siege row, outside of the weather, just to take 2 strength off of this Merc. I'm not sure if I like this play too much. I don't know if he had to play it on... Ooh, Milva comes out and picks Yavin up into Devil's hand with no cards on Mante's side of the field. A devastating play. Getting the absolute most value possible out of Milva there. Mante responds by pulling his Merc out and lacerating the opponent's Merc, but just too good of a play there. And I was posturing that perhaps Yavin would be better off played into the weather, knowing that that Merc had a high likelihood of being replayed anyway. But now seeing that it got pulled back to the hand definitely means he probably should have played into the weather instead of onto the row. But he does get to decoy his Yavin back. But the card advantage battle is in favor of Devilczych in a meaningful way right now, as we don't know if Devilczych has a Yavin of his own either. Out comes the Archer, takes the Elven Merc out, and now both of these Blue Mountain Commandos are what you see is what you get in 4 strength out of the unit. This is a very tricky round for Mante XT to try and navigate. Devil is playing very well. Out comes the Tremors, not giving a single opportunity for the Hawker support to get any value going. And Mante will respond by using his Tremors to take out the Archer. He's down 2 cards and 8 strength, but 8 golden strength. And he's going to want to play Yavin at some point during this round. There comes Devil's own Yavin. Drops it down on the melee row into the Frost. We'll get a card back for that. And Mante really has no fantastic play here other than replaying Yavin, but he opts to go for the Blue Mountain Commando, knowing that it's going to be difficult for him to get any value out of the card moving forward into 1 or 2 draws if you include Yavin in the next round. So not too bad to try and get your opponent to play some extra cards. And Mante's going to need this Yavin back to the other side of the field. We are seeing so many Yavins played, and the top deck is a Singrim. So it's a bit of a bailout there to find a Singrim off the top. But what he really needs is to Yavin now and find a Glyce off the top to try and win this silly back and forth squirrel battle of non-stop using the Yavin. They're trading Yavin around like it's nothing. But he needs to find a Glyce, so I think he has to play this here. And really just pray to the RNG gods that it's not a Glyce. So he's going to be at a devastating disadvantage in terms of cards. And now 2 Yavins in Devil's hand as he Nature's Wishes, or Nature's Gifts, the decoy to bring Yavin back to his hand again. And he could play these safely into the comfort of weather, knowing that Mante XD, having played the White Frost, unlikely to have anything to remove it. Nature's Gift again will pull back Yavin to Mante XD's hand. This is a bit of a headache to watch. Yavin gets played. Yavin gets played. Yavin gets played. What a round. Wow, what a beautiful mirror that I'm glad I never had to experience. And there's a Glyce off the top, so we can see another Yavin play here, potentially. I'm not sure. Honestly, he has to. I think Mante XD is just so far behind in terms of card advantage. He's not going to have a chance to respond if Devilczych has his own Singrim. We do see the Lacerate come out here and clear off the siege row of Devil. And here comes Devil's Glyce, and it looks like he's going to decoy back Yavin, because why not? Yavin's for everybody. Mante could use the Lacerate to stall, to wait for Yavin to get replayed, but I think he just has to pass. At this point, the 11 strength that Yavin's going to put onto his side of the board, he needs every bit of it to try and win the game. So I don't see how he can try and extend play here reasonably. He's down 3-6. And this is the real danger of falling behind in terms of card advantage, and from having to use Kieran as well as Ciri in round 1 to secure the victory meant that he didn't have reliable card advantage sources in round 2. It was all speculatory in Yavin and company. And he ends up passing, keeping everything else in hand. And that's the end of the round 2. So this is a game 1 of a best of 3. Devil's in a commanding lead with 7 cards in hand. He's going to last wish to seek through all of his cards. And not seeing his hand, we have to assume that he's seen enough cards out of his deck to hit whatever he's looking for. Mante's going to open with a Glyce and use Last Wish to try and find some answers out of his deck. Not a horrible play. I mean, most people are accustomed to seeing a Glyce use the chain into the decoys and plays of the like, but being able to get through and find Bork is going to be a helpful play as he slams Bork down to the ground. But He doesn't have enough turns to actually play Bork here without potentially killing off his own neophytes. He really needs Devil to play into Bork. He knows that Devil has a Yavin that is going to get played at some point. So that's going to be one target. The question is Devil going to play anything else high in strength? And he does play a 4 strength Blue Mountain Commando, so it looks like he'll end up being safe from the fury of his own Bork, unless now he has to remove the Commando with his Archer to extend play. So this Bork might end up removing all the neophytes. And this is this is getting ridiculous as Devil takes advantage of this card advantage, just throws away his Ithnes ability. Doesn't even mind not using it. And Devil knows at this point, all he has to do to beat a Singram is not play. And Bork is going to eliminate all the neophytes. You can't... Any unit played by a Devil is still going to mean that all these neophytes get removed from the board. So all Mante has going for him is his reliable gold strength. That is, of course, unless there's a Yorvith in hand perhaps to mess with the gold strength. And there it goes. The whole board of Mante XD wiped out by Bork. Oh, and that's devastating. Now 3 cards in hand for Devil. Tour Reveal reveals herself. 6 strength on the board. He has to climb 22 strength in 3 cards. He's been through a lot of his deck. You have to assume that we're going to see a Singram here. And you have to assume that game 1 is going to go the way of Devil. As a Singram hits the board, out come the neophytes, and that will be enough to lock up the victory of game 1 in the round of 16 of the Passiflora Championship. And Devil will pass after the Singram play. I'm going to get game 2 ready for you. Don't go anywhere. I'm HG3 and we are watching the Passiflora Championship by means of VOD. Thank you for tuning in. We'll have game 2 up for you in a moment.